It's a new season.
Yes, you're right, and we're back.
A new season.
To talk Galavant.
A new chance to go through the plot.
On a show where it hits just the right spot.
A new season to go.
Galavant Ing.
Yeah, all right. We're back, folks. We're back. As the episode would imply, suck it, Cancellation Bear. This show did not get canceled. How happy are you, Blue Jack?
I am ecstatic that this show made it another season.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So we're back. We're back in the driver's seat talking about Galavant. And, we've got musical numbers, Blue Dragon 5. I mean, come on. We've got musical numbers on a podcast. Doesn't get much more exciting than that. I mean, I'm sure that's what our folks are dying to hear.
Of course.
All right. So really quick, we are going to be talking about episode 1 tonight. And then episode 2 we will be talking about tomorrow night. They both dropped last night, right after we did our speculation video. Already some things were proven wrong, Blue Dragon 5. Like, episode 2, I was heartbroken to see that awesome shot of the guy breathing fire wasn't Gareth.
Oh, I didn't. That was the shot you were talking about. I thought you meant it was actually Gareth on camera.
No. That was
I
the
could
shot
have told
I was
you.
talking about.
I could have told you that wasn't Gareth.
I know. I feel dumb now.
Well, at least most of my speculation was on the money.
I knew that we would not see Richard's Kingdom, but that's for another discussion.
And it hasn't been named yet.
Right.
Still just called Richard's Kingdom. Has no name.
All right, but anyways, we are here to talk about episode 1 entitled A New Season, a.k.a. Suck It, Cancellation Bear. That's right, Bear, suck it.
Well, you may not want to say that to this bear, but we'll get into that.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's right. Oh, boy. I just realized the context of that. Wow. Well, we thought we'd see a bear. We didn't realize what kind of bear we were.
It was more of an inside-out reference bear.
Right. All right. Well, anyways, Blue Dragon 5, we have a little bit of a, before we get kind of break down beat by beat, we have a little bit of a recap, a musical recap, if you will. So do you want to start?
Sure. So if I may, Maestro, it's a new season for Galavant and crew.
Shenanigans ensue through and through.
Richard and Galavant get stuck in a pub and work for tips.
But hit the bricks to escape servitude.
A new pairing of Gareth and Sid.
Izzy tries not to marry a kid.
A new season.
Let's hope it doesn't get canceled.
On this episode of Galavant.
All right. I think that about sums it up.
But we should still talk about it, though.
I think so, yeah. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Galavant, he's up on the pirate ship. He's laying out his plan to save Isabella. And Richard's not feeling too well.
He's awfully seasick here. So basically, Galavant has also kind of established the plot for the folks at home who may not have tuned in for season 1. It's kind of a gag.
Right.
It's basically he has to get Richard back to the kingdom, and after that he can go back to save Isabel, because that's what the agreement was. He and Gareth struck up at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And also, remember the snarfing gag?
Oh god.
Richard is he's not built for travel, which is hysterical. Just Richard saying, again, the wonderful, the talented Timothy O'Munson. I love this man so much. Just saying, what's that? What happens when you have the stinging in your nose and in your mouth? It's called snoffing.
I had that for about a week or so I know what it feels like. It's not pleasant.
So as you can imagine, the good old king here, he's getting on Galavant's last nerve here. And also, your King Richard here, he's going through all the grievances he has. Oh, but it's like a child, which is hysterical. I say, oh, Galavant, the pirates smell. I miss Gareth. And he basically begs Galavant. This cracked me up. You get a sense Richard, he loves, like, being serenaded, or like, you know,
yeah.
again, he likes hearing the lullaby too, which again was established last season. In this case, he wants to hear, well, if he's stuck with Galavant, what has he heard a bunch of times by this point, and what does he want to keep hearing as some reassurance? He wants to hear the Galavant main song we've heard. You know, we basically made a whole thing out of last season.
Oh yeah.
Very catchy tune, which, you know, as he says, please, you know, he begs him, if I sing it, will you shut up? He starts singing, he starts speaking through back in the days of old. He says, oh, no, sing it right, for real.
There was a hero known as Galavant.
But then he's interrupted by the Pirate King, played by the wonderful Hugh Bonneville, coming back this season, hopefully for a few more appearances, but at least he's back for this one.
Yeah, we don't even know if he died or not. The fate of some of those pirates when they landed on that shore was kind of iffy.
I don't know. We may or may not have seen him on the shore. I think he might be okay.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to kill the main guy. I think he's fine. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Pirate King and his crew here, they're kind of, since they're tired of the song. They, in fact, tell Galavant of this. No, we heard this. It's a good song, but, you know, it's not an Emmy winner. Okay, we've been through this. You know, we got to change it up. Basically, they kind of transition this. I mean, this is giving us a sense that this season is going to be the most.
They also mentioned that 4 pirates walked the plank just willingly, just to get away from hearing the song.
It does kind of get stuck in your head. You got to give them points on that one. Yeah, they're kind of right. It's super catchy. I love that song, by the way. I'll make that clear. You know, but this season, from this opening, and I love this opening, and I'll get into the reasons why in just a moment. I think it's going to be the most fourth wall meta season ever.
Of like anything.
This would be Deadpool's bread and butter of a TV show. It would. So they start the song. It's a new season. The song we're kind of basing all of our songs off of.
Mm-hmm.
It's so catchy. Seriously, this is one of my favorite parts of this whole episode. And then again, they kind of debuted it online. Thankfully, I avoided it though.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like a Muppet movie.
You know what it reminds me of? And it was ringing through my head the minute I heard it, and I was just so happy about a reason I love it so much. It was so it's Hey a Movie from the Great Muppet Caper.
Yeah, totally.
Hey a Movie, and it's so great, and I love it. Galavant has its own version of something from Great Muppet Caper. I love that, and it's so catchy. It is, and I love everything. I love absolutely everything about this song. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to miss that Galavant theme song, but we do need a new one for season 2, and I think this is very fitting.
And I wonder if it's going to be kind of the main thing they got going through all the episodes, like the underlining theme, you know, like dun dun dun.
I think it might be. I think we're onto something.
Yeah, because I don't think they're going to do like when they usually played the melody of like dun 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 dun. Like I don't think they're doing it. I think they're kind of going for the new season thing, which again is like props to Alan Menken and company for coming back here and doing such a great job with the songs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the pirates are kind of just going through the song. They're apparently we've got some guest stars that'll cost the network a fortune.
I thought it was hilarious. Again, this is a fantastic song. It's just so meta and fourth wall.
Right.
Costing a lot of money. Again, I'm surprised ABC let some of this fly, by the way, in the end there. But you know, there's the guest guy. You got they mock the old song. Back in days of old, da 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 da, and they stab the guy.
Oh God! I'm like, wow, that's a great way to set the tone.
I love the jester gets a grand entrance because you know he's kind of the main guy singing the song. It was revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have like the king, and basically it's kind of also a good recap. So again, Alan Menken here, and what this show has been doing so well is that they really have they establish plot and story within their song, which is something I always want. It's not pointless songs. It's always to drive the story in an interesting way, which it works.
Well, we'll talk about the pointless song.
Well, do you mean this one or next one?
No, I mean the next one.
Well, yeah, next one, sure. Wait, do you mean song or episode?
I mean I have issues with the other song in this episode.
Okay, we'll get into it.
I didn't like it.
All right, fine. For the most part, the songs are really good.
It's like, oh, look, Galavant is hunky when he takes off his shirt. Let's write a freaking song about it.
I'll defend that point when we get there.
Okay. I'm glad you liked it.
Anyway, point is
subjective, Steven. Chalk it up.
Yeah,
we got your episode coming up. We know.
The point is, you can see the work and the quality put into the songs here, and it's really neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. As the songs go on, they're mentioning little bits here as we kind of, again, interestingly, we kind of reconnect with the characters, kind of see where they're at, see what their kind of shtick is for this season. It's a good plot. I think it's a good plot establishing song for what the season's going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we get the parents mentioning like Izzy's got to marry her cousins. Just we know it's incest, but that's what her family does. Creepy.
Which is pretty much what those characters are boiled down to.
Yep, again,
Like, yeah, it's tradition.
the parents are at least getting more to do, and the parents are still pretty funny. So you got some of that there. 'Cause I had issues with them that one. Again, episode 7 just really didn't hit home for me that first season. Anyway, we see Madalena and Gareth. They're looking forward to torture and ruling the place, and then Sid wants a solo. He's still not getting it. You'll notice he never got a solo in the first season.
Right.
Because every time the Togetherness song, he mentions if I'd ever get a word in edgewise, no one listens to me. Let's see. They mock the other shows, which I thought was clever. I'm surprised they got away with some of it. Pretty much saying, during these 5 weeks, there's going to be some other stuff. Watch our show, please. And of those shows, they mention, again, Sid's interrupted by girls talking about, don't watch the pageants, and Garrett saying, don't watch the football matches. Then the Golden Globes, girls in kind of Valkyrie bras. As the jester saying, don't watch the Golden Globes. And of course the Apprentice, and then the Bachelorette, which that one I'm amazed they got away. I think Bachelorette's on ABC, isn't it?
I gotta say, all those references kind of went over my head.
all of them?
No, not all of them. Not all of them. But
the Golden Globes went over your head.
All right, I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's Golden Globes I can't buy. Anyway, then of course my favorite part of this song is I love the chorus line bit where they're all just Richard, Hugh Bonneville, and Galavant. They're doing the slow version of "It's." No, you're doing the slow chorus line. New season. Da, 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 da. It's so catchy. It feels so Muppet Caper-esque. I love it.
And hell's freezing over if we get decent ratings.
Yep, and again, it's got parroted in the Nielsen ratings thing from the first. And also, again, we get this great bit, which came out of nowhere, but I thought it was.
Oh, it totally worked.
It worked so well, and I love what they called it. We had a Brady Bunch gag. So basically, it's funny how it works out because that's all our characters this season built. It's nine. Wait, is it 9? Is it 9 squares?
Yeah, it's 9.
Yeah, so it's 9 squares.
Yeah, it's 3 rows of 3. Yeah.
Of all our characters, and it works. Basically, everyone kind of establishing who they are. The Jester, the BFF, which I love the BFF. Because he's not the villain. He's not the villain. He's the BFF. That's what he is.
No, at this point, Richard might be one of the most heroic characters on the show. This season might be all about his redemption.
Which I'm all for, because you know how much I love King Richard in the show.
Oh, yeah. So
then, Sid's kind of dropping the ball in the middle. He gets the middle square. He's the Alf. He's the center celebrity square, essentially. All the pressure's on him. He's finally getting the solo, and the reason he's bombing on this, by the way, because he is essentially establishing where the finale's going. He's saying eventually it's going to be 3 armies going up against each other, and then he just kind of loses traction. And
right.
It's not so much the content; it's just that's what's throwing him off because he has to get a lot out there in such little time. Way to drop this, Gareth! He's shouting at us. Way to drop the ball, little man! Way to drop the ball. He's we put all this. You're the center square, and you screwed us. Thanks a lot, Sid.
And then they also straight up mentioned it's a new season that you'll probably record.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so then after the amazing song, which again, more than probably my favorite song of the season so far.
Well, I think the competition's not that close, but
I'm saying even with first season, though, it's up there. I mean, first season had some good songs.
I would definitely say it's up there with stuff from the
first season. I'd put this in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway,
I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to some of those.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Richard's songs in there, the Richard song and maybe the main Galavant song.
And then also the finale actually had a lot of good songs between that lullaby.
Yeah, I love going to. It's gonna kill the king.
Yeah, we're
off on a secret mission.
Yeah, off on a secret mission. Right. That was great.
Never mind, they're all good songs. Okay. Meanwhile, so back to our plot here. So Richard sees land and he thinks, "Oh, I remember this land. Now we're close. Let's go ashore here." She says, "Well, you sure?" "Yeah, I recognize it. I've never been more sure about anything in my life." Okay, we just cut to the ship has. We don't see. I love that we don't see the crash. You just see.
I know it's just the most desperate situation. People are just scraping to get onto the land.
Yeah, they see parts of the ship all over, barrels and stuff all over the place. And the perfect frame of Galavant and Richard in the same frame there, so giving them a look. I'm just that is not. It's he crashes. He admits, "Oh, I guess I wasn't that familiar with it. I guess I didn't recognize it."
Wow, I did not know what I was talking about. Not even a little.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be this. From that opening, I was like so ecstatic over how the season was gonna be. Like everything in that opening was just perfect. Okay, so then we go to coming back from our Galavant main image. We go to Gareth having a title, having some title issues. He's just referred to at this point. So apparently, it wasn't just clean cut. Just he's the king of Valencia now, like
That's
we
what
assumed.
we all kind of assumed at the finale. Yeah.
You take the chair, you're assumedly the king. That's it's basic logic there.
But I just love how ridiculous and mundane this is.
It is, and I love Gareth. Again, this episode, Gareth was like on the money. He was perfect.
Oh, totally.
So again, I think let's just say this overall. I think this is a very strong opener.
Yeah, I would agree. I wasn't as fond of episode 2, but we'll get to that.
Oh, I'm with you there. I have issues with 2, but
yeah, okay.
Believe me,
as a whole, this opening episode was really good.
It's like 2 was solid, but it wasn't great. This one was great.
2 was not like among the worst episodes of season 1, but it wasn't. It didn't blow me away at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway, you need some plot in there.
I guess so.
Even though I'll have issues with that plot when we get to episode 2. We're not
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
You know I'm going to have issues, but we're going to get to that. Anyway, so speaking of issues, so Garrett's having some...
off as well, my friend.
All right, we'll get there.
I'm like, are they really going? Are they really doing this? Are they really? All right, anyway.
So Gareth is having some title issues because at this point he's referred to comedically as the guy with... I'm the guy with you when she, basically with the guy with Madalena when she killed the other guy.
No, okay, I have the full title. It's the Queen and the guy who was with the Queen when she killed the other guy who was kind of the king. That's Gareth's official title.
I love that. And you know what that is? It's also kind of, I guess it's them, they get a lot of fourth wall meta jokes in here. It's them kind of poking fun at the fact that, we kind of threw that in the last movie with all the Kingsley stuff.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of a smart. Again, they're really smartly poking fun at themselves. Even the second episode does have points for it. They poke fun at themselves in places. All right. So let's see. After Gareth's title thing, so Gareth's having some issues. Like, can we talk about that title thing? Oh, not now. So then there's these two men. This again, Gareth. One of the funniest moments of Gareth is here. So these two men come up and say, well, we had an egg between our houses or something, and it hatched and became a chicken. So, a chicken laid an egg, and it scurried away, and then this egg hatched into a chicken, so we don't know who it belongs to. Then they're approaching the Queen with this, and again, Madeleine like, are you seriously? Who asked this sort of thing? And Gareth, I love this.
Gareth is like totally trying to be diplomatic.
And this is what Gareth's character is all about. It's like that line he had in the first one. And it's really cool. It's the sincere Gareth. It's like the one who's like, he'll give he's complimenting the food in the first season. Remember, it's like, oh man, this is some good food. It's like Gareth's giving it his all. He's like giving it the college try. He's like saying, no, wait a minute. I think I know how to handle this. We need to determine. Again, Vinnie Jones, I love him so much. He's good in everything. He really is.
Treasure. He's a treasure.
He is. Anyways, I was saying, we have to determine what came first, the chicken or the egg. And before he can go further, Garrett's like straight face, like he's just deadpan. Well, yeah, we got to figure this out. And Madeline interrupts. Okay, just kill the chicken and serve
the chicken. Oh yeah, I'll have it for lunch.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, okay. I think Madalena actually kind of improved a little bit from season 1.
Yeah, Madalena's gotten better. She's much better here now.
Because we were actually kind of saying just kill her off in the first 2 episodes. I think she's going to stick around at least halfway through the season.
But we'll see. I don't think we're finished with the blonde yet, but
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But
I think I remember seeing her in promos in different costumes, so I think she's coming back.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Anyway, so then Sid's coming up there, and yay, Sid! And
Sid is freaking great, and you totally called it. Didn't you totally call this thing with?
I did.
Yeah, with Gareth making Sid the assistant. You like points for that.
I was proud of that one. So, to be fair, it was kind of like, it's like how many directions can they go with Sid being in there? Because he has to be with Gareth,
but it totally works. It's a great duo.
I'm just happy because I'm just very thrilled with the pairing. It's like the opposite pairings. Again, it's funny because they serve the same role to their main heroes. They were both kind of they are both the lackey, the main lackey, the loyal lackey. All right, let's see. So anyway, so Sid's coming up and he's questioning what his role is. Because again, am I a prisoner? Am I a subject? What's going on there? Because it's a fourth wall gag, like clarifying, well, what happened at the end of last season? When in between here, where am I right now? And Gareth sympathized, like, well, I know how difficult it can be not knowing your role. I can imagine how it'd be difficult. So again, some good characters, some good chemistry there. Well, okay, yeah, it makes sense. They both are in a place like they don't quite know their role right now. And he says, "Oh, don't worry, Gareth. You know your role. What's that? Killed the chicken."
Oh boy.
He's been resorted to killing chickens. I mean, come on. Gareth used to be the guy fighting Galavant, kicking him in the face when the king couldn't. I mean, now he's just evolved down to kill a chicken.
All right. So now we have some really disturbing humor from Izzy's parents.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
So again, we weren't quite sure how this was going to work. We optimistically hoped that marriage would have happened. Like he was holding her hostage until he was 18, but they're going Old West style on this one.
Nope.
They're going the Old West style, to quote A Million Ways to Find West. They're going like the 9-year-old acceptance thing. So they're planning a wedding, folks. They're getting ready to marry this 11-year-old kid to this voluptuous, beautiful young woman.
Oh, it's okay. So the parents have these like custom-made cake toppers, wedding cake toppers.
Yeah, it's reminding me so much of Lord Farquaad. And there's another big Shrek. There's a Shrek reference in the next episode. Well, not a direct Shrek. I'm saying it just feels so Shrek-like the next episode. Anyway, so Isabel is questioning the logic of the marriage plans. Like, this doesn't bother any of you marrying my 11-year-old cousin? 11-year-old cousin! And then, the mother's saying, well, it's what we do. It's a thing we got to do here. And she's referencing, look, I know you want Galavant to come back, but it's not happening. Believe me, I have thoughts about Galavant. I'm still going to be using him later on. And implying it when Galavant's coming in there last season, he's saying, oh, Mummy, I am so psyched to see Izzy get older. I mean, way to keep it iron tight when he said that.
Oh, boy.
I guess that stuck with her because she has a rather disturbing line saying Galavant's in her bank, so to speak.
Yeah, a bank of some sort.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's just say, I think Mommy Dearest.
It's so bad that I don't even want to say it.
Yeah. I think Mommy Dearest is still thinking about Galavant during private time, but I like
much information.
I like the idea that the mother's coming around on Galavant, so to speak.
Yeah, that's very true.
Anyway, so let's see. So then the father, the king of Valencia, here's some of the funniest lines. He says, "Well, if you marry a cousin, I don't have to pay for the wedding. I just have to pay for the rehearsal dinner." I love he has to pay the rehearsal dinner, though. I love it. Like it's family, yet he still can't get away with that.
Right.
So he has to, if marries anyone else, he has to pay for the wedding, and that's the reason he can't marry Galavant in his eyes. Otherwise he's fine with it. They're like, no, you gotta marry.
So it's not like Aladdin where there's just some weird law against it. It's just like, nope, comes down to pure economics.
Yeah. Anyway, then Isabel has this really great line. She's saying, "True love is not about rehearsal dinners." And then if I was, look at these prices, though. The point is, he's kind of in a weird place right now. But again, I should have mentioned this during the speculation. I don't know if I kind of hinted at it, but again, I'm a little worried this season about the kid. And there is a scene in this episode where, as much as I do love this episode, there's one scene I really don't. One gag I really don't like.
Oh, I think I can guess.
You know what it is, but we'll get to it.
I know what it is.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm worried about this kid, and we'll see. Because the kid's I'm mixed on the kid.
I think if they make him, like, diabolical, he could potentially be interesting.
And we're assuming he's going to become a bad guy. So if they do that, it might
right.
I'm wary on the kid. I'm not down on him completely. I'm a little wary of him.
I hear you.
I'm not one above getting wary of children. Like that kid from Luke, I'm still eyeballing that kid. Like I don't like this kid. I mean, not the act. The actor's fine. I'm just saying, like, this kid's creeping me out. Anyway, meanwhile, let's see. Galavant and Richard, they're in a forest setting here, and they're mentioning, oh man, those pirates were so snippy after the boat crashed. Pirate died. Well, that's what they do. That's what pirates do. I love Richard just come up with the rationale. A pirate died.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to assume not Hugh Bonneville's pirate. I'm going to optimistically assume that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like we do know that pirates are dead. So
we got to check that out to see if he's alive. We're going to do that by next episode, folks. We're going to check that. Anyway, let's see. So King Richard recognizes, oh, wait, I know this place. Oh, come on. Not this. No, I know this place. It's the Enchanted Forest. My father warned me about it when he and his camping buddy, Uncle Keith. We called him Uncle Keith because he was always around. No, get
on with it.
First of all, I just love Rich. Again, Timothy Munson kills me in this show. He really does. He just kills me. Because he plays him like the prince from Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, totally.
What's the prince's name from Robin Hood?
Prince John.
Prince John. Thank you. It's simple. I know. It's Prince John. He plays him exactly like Prince John. It's hilarious. But I love how he infuses. Kind of goes on a tangent of my father's camping buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Camping buddy Keith. Just camping buddy Keith. And then he goes into Uncle Keith. It's pretty funny. Anyway, so Uncle Keith came. My father, Uncle Keith, came in here, and Uncle Keith was never heard from again.
Oh boy.
So Galavant's fed up with Richard. This is important with their arc here in this season, especially this episode with where Galavant is with Richard at the moment. You get a sense of Richard can be a lot to take if you're not Gareth.
Yeah, for sure. He's a giant man-child.
Exactly. Galavant's just fed up with Richard. He kind of drops the line here, which defines Richard's character arc here. He says, can't you do anything right? And you feel bad for Richard for a month. They're like, he's trying, but in his own ways, he's failing at every turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel for Richard, but you understand it by the end of the episode, definitely. You understand, of course he can't do anything by himself. Look at his life. You can't do anything right. And again, I felt some sympathy points for Richard there. Anyway, so then it's the Galavant makes the realization. Wait, it's a pub. It's not Enchanted Forest. It's a pub called the Enchanted Forest. They go in there and they realize it's an old men's pub. And right off the bat, Richard doesn't realize this. He just likes it. Oh, it's like a gentleman's club. All right.
Richard's bragging. He's just like, "Oh, Galavant, get used to the attention, son, when you're on the mainland with King Rich."
And of course, no one's paying attention to Richard, but they're loving Galavant. He's a strapping guy. And by the way, I noticed what that change with Galavant was his hair is a little long. It's like the beard's the same. It's like I guess it's a little thicker, but the hair is like.
I think the beard is a little thicker. Yeah.
The beard's a little thicker. Mainly, like the hair used to be kind of shaven down. Now it's like it just free flowing.
Okay.
But I just wanted to mention it because I was like bugging me, like, what's different about him? Aside from the beard, there's something different about him. I finally noticed. Didn't get a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Galavant's obviously the popular fresh meat in the place, and then he notices John Hamm, not that John Hamm. He notices John. I should say it right. The way it's spelled, John Hamm.
John Hamm.
And we called this John Stamos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was for a brief bit, but it was pretty funny.
Very brief, but awesome.
Apparently, he says, "Don't tell my wife."
Oh, don't tell my wife.
And he just grabs one of the guys with him and says, "Come here." So John Stamos, I love that guy. Anyway, so then the Queen enters, our blonde, the aforementioned blonde we mentioned. Right now she's only called Queen, so we'll find out. I guess
it bothers me that she doesn't have a name.
Not yet. I mean, she wasn't talked to really.
I'm not into this character.
Anyway, so the Queen here.
I'm sorry for being negative. Let's go. Let's.
And so the Queen comes down there, and basically she kind of initiates. And I argue this song because I do think it establishes plot instead of just kind of having it go. I think it moves through the plot faster. And I think that's kind of a smart. I think it's a strategic move, and I think it works well. Basically, she kind of there are intruders in the club here, and they must be punished. And instead of being like, oh, gloom and doom, it's kind of a fun counter opposite there. Like, well, before the song starts, it says, well, should we put him in the dungeon? I mean, just the idea, it's like it's an all men's club. It's got the dungeon, which is like a dancing cage. Is that a dungeon? Or, of course, the namesake of the episode, which cracked this up, I think. The bear.
There's no bears in San Francisco.
I don't know. I saw a really hairy guy. He looked like a bear. And again, I want to make this clear. I still attest that one is just like saying the guy looked like a bear because of that dream she had. But I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I don't think that was meant to be an adult joke.
Oh, I don't.
I'm just saying that's what the context of the bear.
Pixar writers are clever, and bears in San
I
Francisco.
read a whole.
You do see bears in San Francisco. Blue
Yes,
Dragon
there are bears
fans,
in. I know there are bears. Anyway,
there most certainly are bears in San Francisco.
the point is with the Pixar and the humor though. I have actually read a book of their story pitches, and some of them were quite dirty. Like there were a lot of poo jokes in Nemo we didn't see, but I'm not going to get into that.
I mean, if you just want like your beloved cartoon characters of your childhood talking dirty, just listen to Talking Tunes with Rob Paulson. It'll scar you for life, kids.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. So, point is like the dungeon or the bear, and the bear is just this lovable looking guy, long, friendly guy on Earth. Just like, it's like he's like a lonely guy at the bar. Like, oh, I want to buy that guy a drink.
I know, totally.
I love the bear so much. The bear's awesome. I want to see the bear come back.
I think he will.
I hope he does. I really, by the end, I hope he's back. If the blonde's coming back, I'm hoping the bear comes with her.
Right.
Anyway, so basically, the Queen's kind of initiating this like off with his shirt song. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of like a play on off with his head, but off with his shirt and then exacting the punishment. I love it. It feels like so 80s in the song. You know what I mean? It feels like so like off with his shirt. It has like.
I didn't think the tone fit with the rest of the show though.
I don't know, for a pub, I think it worked.
I don't know. I get it. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree because I really hate.
That's fair. I'm just saying. I think it was still old enough that it didn't feel too modern. That's what I'm saying. It didn't feel like a modern song. It still felt kind of rich with history almost. Okay,
but one bit I want to point out that did make me crack up. Richard once again stealing the show because, the Queen, she's having all these people carry her around, and it's like she's floating, and Richard's like...
Yeah, like she falls back in like the little spread eagle position.
Ooh, I want to fly too. I want to fly like her. Someone pick me up.
I know, Richard was great. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think the orchestration was obviously good. I think the song was catchy. I think it was, well choreographed. I think the song worked. For a pub and for what this pub was, I think it made sense.
I was caught off guard by it, man. I was like, okay, this let's just move past this. But I don't know. Like I said, chalk it up to subjectivity.
Okay, but let me talk about the good thing, barring the music. Again, what the song accomplishes. Again, plot wise, it shows you Galavant's punishment, where he's working the bar. It didn't go like the way I thought. I think we're interpreting it different than that. The way I feared it was going to go, it didn't go, and I think you're interpreting it the way I feared it was going to go. I think because it was just like him working in a bar. It wasn't like her doing like a 50 Shades of Grey thing on him or anything.
Well, no, I didn't expect that. But still, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I felt kind of like 80s, like the thing where you pull down the water on the guy in the chair or something, like the girl in the chair, like that sort of thing. It's kind of what it felt like. I don't know how really. Points with the song there. You see the basically Galavant working in the bar and being a really excellent bartender, which I really loved. I'm loving the mundanity and the plot that's communicated in the song. And of course, the tips being racked up.
But my whole thing is like, is this really going to be the conflict of the season? Is this Queen wanting to get Galavant back to work at her bar?
Well, remember, it's not.
I'm like, what?
I don't remember. We don't know if she's coming back for sure.
I just hope that that's not like the main plot line because it just seems like something that's very minor.
Might be kind of a funny side plot.
But then, of course, you got B. Arthur working at the bar too, and she'd have a song about the bar closing.
Okay, anyway, but it's like the tips gag, like the tips overflowing the jar gets Galavant's a popular bartender. I thought that was catchy. And then, of course, by the end of it's pretty funny punching on the whole shirt thing. So even if you didn't like it, there was this funny thing. Richard's bringing him the shirt saying, oh, put this on, you'll catch your death of cold. Anyway, so again, what I love is they think, okay, it's over, a little song. Yeah, that was my punishment, I guess, for not announcing myself. And he's like, okay, let's get out of here. It's fun. I've never been to one of these places before. Well, of course you've been to a pub before. Don't be an idiot. And again, Richard still isn't quite getting what this pub is.
Oh boy.
Anyway, then they're saying, okay, goodbye. And they're saying, bye, Bear. And
then Bear's just like, laters.
Yeah, the Bear's awesome. Just giving a wave, he's like, oh, goodbye, Bear. It's adorable. That Barry's you would take him home. He's adorable. Anyways, then the Queen demands that Galavant stay because he's the most successful, and as you saw by the tip jars, most successful night they've had.
Oh yeah.
And it commands that he stay forever. Then the bear
And then,
seems very
oh,
happy.
he's very happy.
And then, as Richard points out hilariously, well, the bear seems happy. Again, it's just Richard seems the most happy-go-lucky character, and it works in every situation. You know, if we could somehow get King Richard and Norma Bates in a room together,
Oh god. They'd actually make a decent couple.
and get like Dylan and Gareth in a room together.
Oh god.
Anyway. So let's see. After the bear seems happy, okay. So Gareth interrupts Sid's bath time without knocking. Yes, Sid, who be his assistant. This is a good scene here, a good Gareth scene here, with a really hilarious ending to this scene. But he's asking Sid to be his assistant, which again called it, luckily. And he wants to find out what his role is. Well, you want to find out your role? Here's your role. You're my assistant. And first thing is, I need you to read this thing here. Basically, he wants to know his role exactly. What happens when a king is dethroned? Like, is she supposed to be the boss of him or what? He needs to know this, which makes sense for Gareth. He's a loyal dog, as he mentioned in the first one. He just needs to know if he's serving anyone or if he's the head honcho and he doesn't even know it. He wants to know these things.
Right.
So then Sid has this observation of, like, first of all, I thought it was going in this direction too, but it's like Sid asking, "Oh, Gareth, are you asking me to? Do you want me to? Are you asking me to teach you to read?"
That would be an awesome side plot.
It would, and I thought it was like so sweet. And like, oh my god, this is perfect. And then it's still funny, but Gareth says, "No, reading's for morons who can't understand pictures. I want you to read it to me." That makes sense. Again, he's his assistant. He's kind of a chef / Gareth for himself.
So this is going to be a good dynamic going through the season. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah. Anyways, let's see. So Isabel is outside. It's her outside time, like a prison.
It's very disturbing, this whole prison setup. It's very uncomfortable.
And again, we were kind of half right on, like, she is allowed outside the thing technically, but she's still pretty much confined to that little room.
Right.
They really love that shot at the end of the first season. Well, let's keep her in there. Anyway, apparently this kid can't take any hints, and Isabella really wants to get out of here. Nope.
Oh god! And here comes the joke that you're not happy with.
Okay, so let me emphasize, it's not the raspberry gay. So the jester comes by.
I figured it wasn't the raspberry thing.
Yeah, the raspberry's okay, but the point is the jester is kind of the jester to the kid now. It's Prince Harry.
Which makes sense.
And it was like carrying him around like a kid, and he's like, woo, and then he's doing the raspberry. He does that, it's cracking the kid up, and then we get, again, I love everything in this episode except this one joke, really. That's me on this episode.
So, like, you would just go back and just erase this joke out.
If they could only take this one joke, I think the first episode of this season would be perfect.
Fair enough.
I think. So, the kid, again, he's an 11-year-old kid, which makes this worse. That really bugs me. First of all, I think the kid doesn't look 11. Does he look 11 to you?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I don't know. He looks to be maybe about 9 to 11. It's hard to tell.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like you don't know what an 11-year-old kid seems like. But
no,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
I'm just saying it's hard to tell.
I'm sorry. You're right. I came out wrong.
Some 11-year-olds look like 5-year-olds, and other 11-year-olds look like 16-year-olds. You know what I mean?
I don't want to hurt the kid's feelings or anything, but he seems really young, doesn't he? He seems like a young 11-year-old. Like, he doesn't, like, no. Anyway, I'm sorry, wrong tangent. Point is, the kid's 11, which is still
yeah, definitely the wrong tangent.
Sorry, the kid's still too old for this, and the kid, he warns him, like, he's gonna pee, and then he does. And oh god. The kid, the child urinates himself and excuses himself. And then I don't know where to start. Again, I really hate this joke. So
it's bad. It's bad.
Again, that's the thing of the show. I gotta say that was especially for going into the next episode. Said the show has some subjective bits where it doesn't seem like the worst gag in the world, but just they could be much better or strive to be better without it.
I was not a fan of the unicorn bit from episode 2, for example.
I didn't mind. Well, without talking about it too much, I didn't mind the unicorn bit, but there were other gags that did. Again, they brought back something I really didn't like.
Right.
And you know I
know
didn't
what you're
like
talking
it.
about.
But we'll get to that. Point is the pee joke. It fails on so many levels. One, it's a cheap gag. All the some bathroom humor, unless you do it really cleverly. Like Pixar, they do great bathroom humor. Seriously, Pixar has really clever bathroom jokes.
No, you're right. I won't deny you that.
And I read from a book recently that apparently they go through like a process where they get all the bad bathroom jokes out in the storyroom, and then they come up with the good ones. Seriously, there are a lot of bathroom jokes in the Pixar storyroom. You wouldn't believe.
Oh dear.
Especially with Monsters Inc. But anyway, point is, that level, second level again. The kid's too old to be doing this, and it makes the kid seem younger than he being 11. Which do you think 11-year-olds be potty trained, right?
Yeah, most certainly. Those normal ones, yes.
And again, it makes the whole, in the third level of it makes the Izzy marriage to this kid seem all the more horrifying, which, oh, God. The Jester's point out he's very happy about kind of the lack of pressure on his material, so he's pretty much do anything and this kid's entertained. He says, well, sure, you'll be happy with him as soon as he learns not to pee himself. Again, just okay, enough of that finally. They hate that joke.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Then the Jester's making a funny thing here, saying, well, now I have some spare time. I'm trying to make the transition to drama. He just tries and he does the raspberry. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't even think that was great. I thought that was kind of dumb.
I'm saying I like the drama idea. Like I'm making transition to drama. And the other raspberry, it's okay.
But is the raspberry thing like he can't resist doing the raspberry? I don't know. I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Anyways,
compared to the other joke, I'll take the raspberry.
Yeah, certainly.
I'm saying I like everything else in this episode except for that one joke. Okay, anyway, so let's get to Chef and Gwen, or there's some pronunciation on Gwen, but I'm just gonna probably say Gwen.
Yeah, it's just Gwen. It's fine.
Yeah, Gwen. So Chef and Gwen here. See them again, which is nice. And your chef's got a better kitchen this time around. He's got cheeses to work with, as we learned by the opening song. Let's see. They assist Isabel. They're trying to get the key so she can escape. Because they realize Chef does feel bad for Isabel, and then they marrying her cousin, which is sick and wrong. And he's saying, I'm actually into women's rights.
Oh yes, he's gonna let me keep my first daughter and not just throw it out.
Which again, very dark joke about children.
Oh, I know.
I'm surprised they brought that back. Kudos to them for keeping it. You keeping that joke alive, well, so to speak. Anyway, so basically the chef says he'll spike the food, which apparently is now his new trick that he learned from last season about spiking the food. So he'll put some sleepy time, give him some sleepy time pie, and get the key and give it to Isabel so she can escape any time she wants.
Mm.
Okay, which good for Chef. And Chef, I'm loving this guy.
And then he also says, one daughter, and then we leave the rest for the White Walkers.
Still not quite sure what that means.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's a Game of Thrones reference?
I told you there'd be Game of Thrones references. I told you.
All right. So what's a White Walker?
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
You know what a White Walker is, though?
Do I, in the vaguest of terms, it's like the big zombie enemies.
All right.
They're zombies of some kind, I think.
Game of Thrones is a wild show.
I know. Yes, you could say that again.
It's a funky show. They got dragons. They got these White Walker things.
They've got limbs being cut off left and right, and oh god.
They got Dinklage, which is awesome.
Yes. Okay, anyways.
Anyway, less Game of Thrones, more episode.
I know enough about Game of Thrones to probably know when we do get these sort of references, so I'll kind of be like in the know when it comes to that, hopefully.
All I know, I only know 3 things about Game of Thrones. I know 3 actors that are in. I know Peter Dinklage, Gwendolyn Christie, and Jason Momoa.
Well, and then also Sean Bean too.
Well, I mean that. Oh, right. Well, also, the fact that there's a dragon lady, and that's all I know.
Yeah, there's a dragon lady in it.
I assume there's like an iron throne, and there are swords. That is my other guess.
Dude, I'm not too far off from you in that.
Okay, anyway, so back to
Okay.
this. So let's see. So we got again one of the most hilarious images I love so much in this episode. You know me, I love my mundanity. I love seeing King Richard walking up like the little apron on, just like happily like serving the drinks and like working at the bar with Galloway. It's like Richard's like he's in his own buddy movie here. It's like, oh, this is fun. It's a buddy movie adventure. You know, it's kind of like how Bruce Banner would go to places all the time and get like temporary employment. It's like it's a mundane job just to get the bills paid while he's working on a beer or something.
Right.
And just just Richard's like so happy like with this really humble job. He's like so happy. Oh, we need more drinks for these guys. And Galvan is like getting like thrown down, or he happens down, saying another escape attempt foiled. So Richard's happy with the job. Galvan has another escape attempt foiled.
My hand was so cold from making slushy drinks that I could not open the door. That's very vivid. That's very cold.
Oh yeah.
A lot of slushies.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of slushies.
Okay.
So let's see. Richard tries lightening the mood with a joke the bear told him, which I love. And I love that bear.
I love how Bear at this point, like they've only been there like an hour or two, and Bear's already become like the fixture of the bar.
Yeah, it's like the norm from like
Exactly.
The norm
He's totally the norm.
like Bear. You know. Anyway, so again, kudos to Richard for trying to again. Richard's making the best out of a bad situation. That's the idea. That's what he does, and that's why we love this guy. And Gavin's just like he's not having because again, he's really concerned about his friends there. Again, as far as he's concerned in this episode, and I do like how they do address this too. As far as Galvan's concerned, like they're still being held hostage at Valencia.
Right.
Dan, he wants to save Isabel and everyone. He has to first get Richard back to his kingdom. This is all a roadblock on the way to doing that. Time is of the essence in his mind there. And let's see. So, he snaps at Richard for a moment there. Then Richard has this great line. Fine, but from this moment on, we're pulling our tips.
Oh God.
I love that guys. It's such a charming idea. These two guys in this grand buddy movie adventure for this whole season, just like working at a pub for an episode. I love that.
And then he's just storming away, and he's like, "Who doesn't want to hear a good bad joke? Bears are funny.
Yes.
So are giraffes."
And again, what's worked so well about this is also just look deeper into it. Galavant it was all about it makes sense he's a good bartender because he was such a lush after Madalena left him. It's just like showing he's come full circle. And he's no longer obsessed with alcohol. Like Galavant before Madalena, during his slump, he probably could I could get into this. Now that he's found true love with Isabella, he's not for that at all. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that's actually something to point out that I didn't even really pick up on with the character, that Galavant's not into the alcohol thing. Good call.
Yeah, well, no, right. He's not afraid of drinking because then we get we're off on a sacred mission.
Well, yeah, I know, but still.
He's not drinking his problems away. He's got purpose with Isabella, which is nice.
Right.
Okay, so let's see. So then Richard is walking up the stairs or something as he's going through the bear joke thing, I think. He runs into Uncle Keith.
Oh boy.
Who is not dead, but living happily at the pub.
Is this guy anyone that we should know?
Unfortunately, I'm not.
No.
None I could recognize.
Okay. Just making sure.
He might be someone, but I myself didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
We'll let you know if we figure it out next episode. If it's anyone important. Anyway, so Uncle Keith here. Richard obviously is like, "Oh, Uncle Keith, they said you never came out of this place." He says, "Well, no, it's the other way around, actually." What? I look, Richard. Look, nephew, I belong here. Your father, God rest his soul, belonged here too. Was he an alcoholic too? just Richard.
Richard just does not get it.
Just. Timothy Munson plays clueless but lovable. So.
Oh yeah.
Was he an alcoholic too? Yeah, he's a man-child, and it works so well.
But you, Richard, you do not belong here, and I'm going to help you escape. Then Richard's just like, oh yay! Okay, maybe you do belong here.
Oh, what fun! So again, Richard's just a great character, as we've been saying over and over again. But moving on to another point, Madeleine is eating the chicken in front of the bickering owners.
Yeah, I actually kind of thought this was a dark, funny gag.
It is. And they're bickering. Says, why is she eating? They say, why is she eating? Oh, is it my chicken or your chicken? This is why I'm eating the chicken. Anyways, then Gareth walks in. This scene cracks me up. This scene, like rewatching it, it's so many funny levels. It's Gareth walks in with Sid behind him, and he says he wants to talk to Madeline about his title. You know, and Sid's backing him all the way on these bits here, which is pretty funny. And says, well, after I helped you overthrow the king, and then Madeline points out very smartly. Again, Madeline has become a better character with stuff like this. She points out that, well, no, you didn't do anything. I stabbed him after you failed to kill prisoners, after you let him escape. Just like you did nothing, literally nothing to help kill Kingsley.
Right.
Then I love this bit. So right after this, cracks me up on the rewatch. He looks to Sid. Sid gives him like the go away. Hey, keep going. You're doing great. This cracks me up. And then you get Gareth again. Just the heart of Gareth comes out. He's just like laying a soul here. Man, he's just saying, well, I just want to be equal. And he looked in the rule book, thanks to Sid here, and he says, well, because he technically banished the king, he's the rightful king because he banished the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got rid of King Richard, who was the living king. Now Kingsley's gone; he was the heir to the throne. Now he got rid of him, so therefore he should be the king. And he says, and here's where he's bearing his soul. Here, this is like, oh, this is beautiful. Get the inside out tissues for this one almost. It's like saying, also you'll mean a lot to me. To be treated as such.
And then he just makes this adorable puppy dog face.
Gareth. Vinnie Jones is amazing. So after that, then Madalena's question. Again, this is Madalena's problem from first. That's what her character is all about. It makes sense that they're doing it here. It's like, what's with men and their emotions? It's like the woman thing. What's with men all being all emotional in the show? Which is a good thing. And she's like, oh, fine. And she agrees. And, this is a hilarious moment. Gareth and Sid is almost looking to each other. This is like the arm pumped, like, yes!
Right.
Boy, say it. And then Gareth is introduced as presenting Queen Madalena and King Gareth. And he sits down all pridefully, and then a moment of pause goes by. He kind of leans over and he's about to say, you think we can... No, the order stays the way it is. Oh, sure, fine. Because he doesn't want to push it. I love that. That's what I love about Gareth.
Yeah, totally.
He's like feeling so proud of himself. Like, I achieved something today. But a little more. He's like, okay, I'm fine. We've all been there. It's so mundane. It's so great. Okay, let's see. Following that,
Richard, he's trying to convince Gal to follow him.
Right, Galavant's not having it because he has a plan. Says, he has doubts, and then has met with Richard hitting him. It looks like a metal bottle, but it doesn't shatter. I'm assuming it's metal. Hit someone on the back of the head.
Does it have mighty eel strength?
I don't know if it has mighty eel strength. I'm not sure about that, but there's this hilarious bit. Again, it shows you why we love Richard as a character. He hits on the back of the head. He does value his friendship with Galavant, and he says, that hurt. Believe me, that hurt me more than it hurt you. Because he really doesn't want to hurt Galavant, but he had to.
Sure.
Because he said we had to leave right now, which he's absolutely right about. And he carries him, and Galavant's getting really heavy. He's, oh, thank God, you're awake. Okay. Morning sunshine slaps him awake. He says they go to the ladies' room, and the ladies' room is an exit because I just love the mundanity. It had to be up to code, so they had to have a ladies' room.
Right.
They couldn't have it built, so it's an exit because it makes sense. No ladies would be in this place aside from the queen.
My one thing is, wouldn't the queen want to use the ladies' room every once in a while?
She might have like a private restroom upstairs or something. Or
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I assume she has an office,
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, so they go out the exit, and what happens here? All right, so there's a really sweet bit between Galavant and Richard. The friendship's starting to bloom. He says,
"Oh yeah,
you just saved the day. I know, I'm aware." And he says, "Well, it's not just me. You should thank. We gotta thank my Uncle Keith too. And they thank Uncle Keith. Very nice. He says, "Well, Uncle Keith, will you join us?" He says, "Well, I can't join you. That's what does he say, Diggy?"
Destiny is here.
And here's Destiny.
And then,
my destiny is here. And says, here's Destiny. And Destiny is a young tan man.
Oh boy. Destiny, this is Richard.
Which is, I gotta tell you, it's nice. It's like, he's introducing the...
It's a nice sentiment. It really and genuinely is.
Yeah, it's a Destiny. Oh, hi, Destiny. It's
fucking ridiculous, but it's nice.
It's fun, absurd humor. That's what I'm saying. This is
Right,
what this show
right.
is great with. It's fun, absurd. Like, this, first of all, let's just address this. This show is just going through so many. It's such an absurd, so many absurd premises this season, but they all work. They all work because it's been established that this is what this universe does. It goes in these wacky directions, but it grounds it in reality, and it works so well. It grounds it with so much mundanity. It's like it makes sense. It's a logical logic at its finest.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, let's see. So after they introduce the Destiny, they hear like it sounds like happy hour's about to go on, so they gotta get out of there. They run away. And then Richard's asking, "Look, this might sound like a silly question, but you think Uncle Keith might be?" And then Gal interrupts me. "Yes, Richard. Oh, do you think Destiny knows?" Just he's not. Again, it's also symbolic of Richard evolving as a character, getting smarter, but he's still not all the way there. He is the first episode. He's like he's not all the way there. But then they have a really nice heart to heart here. It's really nice. This is where the episode wins major points for me here.
Totally.
Galavant apologizes for. It says, "Well, you really came through for me. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you before." And then Richard really brings it home here, apologizing for being such a burden to Galavant. He says, "I know I'm annoying and all that stuff, but I was coddled all my life," and that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely was coddled all his life. He had Gareth and he had Pearl, and he was breastfed until he was 9. He says, "Wait, what?" He says, "Yeah, well, I had this nanny Pearl." It's the idea that
stop saying Pearl.
It's the idea that he was breastfed by the nanny who has no relation to him. Which first, it would make no sense.
All right,
anyway. So then no, never mind. I want to know about that. Galavant doesn't want to know about it. But Galavant pointing out, this is going to be the main crux of the season, given our last episode, what's been established in our next episode, too. Is that, this is a new chapter. Galavant is really sweet bit. This is the sweet bit here. Galavant saying, "Look, this is a new chapter in your life. You're going to find your inner king."
Hell yeah.
Which is nice. And again, it's going to be Richard kind of becoming that benevolent king we know he's going to be. Which is nice.
But this, of course, leads to the conflict that we suggested in our speculation, which was technically Valencia is not Richard's kingdom, it's Izzy's kingdom.
Yes, which will be interesting when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the other thing I'm just so jazzed about with this line here and this bit is that it's setting up the idea that, again, the season's probably going to be going with this buddy adventure, that Galavant's the first season of Galavant, both of them were evolving that season, again, kind of Matt Murdock Kingpin style.
Mm-hmm.
But this season, it's also kind of the reverse of Galavant. He was the main driving force of someone becoming, more and more the enlightened hero. It's like he was perfect at, again, they're great counter opposites. Galavant's perfect at everything. Richard sucks at everything. And now it's kind of the reverse. He's teaching him. He's showing him to evolve as a character, which he did the first season. No wrong that Richard evolved in his own right to become more enlightened, but slower, more comedically.
Definitely.
In a good way. But it's interesting. Now he's the guiding master on that. He's now the roles are kind of switched a little bit there.
He is, and I think he's kind of like the most sympathetic character, or one of the most sympathetic characters in the season, which is fascinating.
He's the most sympathetic character, hands down.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, then we had a reprise, and again, the way this played out, I think, was just so magical. It's just the reprise of a new season. It's a new season. It's like so softly and nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new season, just setting up the episode. Again,
it's almost like they're just talking to each other in song.
Yeah, it's a new season. And we get to all our other characters too. Basically, then we see Gareth getting the crown put on his head. He has a line that reminds me of that really hilarious line at the first season, and a title that's now incredibly cooler. I love Gareth. That line from the first season says, "Yeah, it's really cool."
I was thinking about that.
We see Isabella has the key and she's excited to escape, and then we see the Brady Bunch shot yet again, and then Sid gets shafted in the middle as he sounds like he's about to get a solo, but then they all come to chime in just to save him from Sid screwing up again.
Are you kidding me?
Poor Sid.
Oh boy.
Overall, I thought a very excellent episode.
Yeah, overall, I think this definitely ranks up with some of Galavant's best. It definitely sets the tone for the season quite well. It's not just a repeat of what we saw in season 1.
I think it's very smartly written with all the fourth wall jokes here. I think that they're cleverly put in there.
Well, it's kind of funny because I almost do think we can make this little weird comparison between this and the difference between this and the Muppet movie and then the Great Muppet Caper. Whereas the first season was Muppet Movie, and this is Muppet Caper, and the fourth wall jokes are just everywhere now. It's just kind of become part of the fabric.
Yeah.
So very exciting stuff. Very exciting. All right. So I guess episode 2, we're not going to speculate on episode 2.
No, of course not.
So, but that is called The Perfect Kiss, correct?
Yes. Yeah, The Perfect Kiss.
Okay. And then any last words?
It's overall is a really good episode. Set up a lot of things like we said already. Again, Richard and Galavant's the best dynamic in this thing. I think every character was pretty strong. Again, I'm worried about the kid, but we'll see how that pans out. Again, point is, I'm so happy this show came back for a second season. Again, as the first on the show, like these writers are smart as a whip. They're really taking. They ended on a gamble, and they're pointing that out. They're not losing focus. They're not losing perspective. That's what I'm looking for. They know that. Yeah, we know we're not the. They took shots themselves, and they still made it work. In the beginning, where they said, yeah, we know we're not the most popular show, and there are probably other things people are tuning in for. The people that did tune in for is very grateful. I'm going to point that out. We're very humble about things. Which again, there's some good meta messages in there that's communicating. Why is this such a genuine, nice show that's worth watching?
All right. Yeah. Okay. I totally agree. I think we're in for a good 5 weeks or so.
Oh yeah. So I guess I should take us out then.
Let's do it.
Okay, we got to do this musically, folks, or else it doesn't feel right. Now that's the end of this episode.
That's as far as we can go for now.
In this new season of music and laughs.
A new season as we recap and chat.
And go.
Galavant!
Galavant!
Galavant! Oh, who doesn't want to hear a good bad joke? There's a funny and so much grass.